Shalom, family. This is Elder Jenkins with the King James Bible University. And I want to speak to you on the topic, Thy servant is warned. Family, we know we all have heard that the gospel is called the good news. But we don't find that nowhere in scripture. We know that the gospel of Jesus Christ, or Yahawashi the Messiah, Jehovah, is his message, is his warning message to his people. He sent warning to give us correction. This message is to warn us, to equip us, to compel us to be true servants of the Most High God of Israel. So this teaching is titled, Thy Servant is Warned. So family, we're going to go ahead with this teaching, and it's my hope and prayer that someone will be richly edified as we allow the precepts of the Most High God of Israel to minister to us. Once again, this is Elder Jenkins with the King James Bible University, and we're going to go ahead and get started with this teaching. And whilst I'm already here, I'm going to start with Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 55. So he says, For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt, out of a mindset of confusion, going up in prison houses, chapels, groves, gathering places, synagogues, also known as churches, learning their doctrine and their meat from split-tongued teachers, causing them to be confused as unto who the Most High God of Israel is. He say, I brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the midst of confusion. I am the Spirit of God, your God, meaning your guide. Genesis chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. He says, This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that Yahweh created man, in the likeness of Yahweh made he him, male and female created he them, and blessed them, meaning he gave them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and called their name Adam. The male and the female, both alike, name was called Adam, in the day when they were created. Deuteronomy chapter 32 in verse 4. He is the rock. His work is perfect. For all his ways are judgment. A God of truth, meaning a God of truth and without iniquity. Just and right is he. Verses 7 down to 10. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee. When the Most High divided to the nations, meaning what? To the tribes, their inheritance. When he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land and in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He gave him this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. 2nd Esdras, chapter 5, verse 22 down to 27. And my soul recovered the spirit of understanding, and I began to talk with the Most High, and said, O Creator that bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee one only vine. And of all lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit. And of all the flowers thereof, one lily. And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river. And of all builded cities, thou hast hallowed Zion, meaning the house of Israel, unto thyself. And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove. And of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep. And among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. And unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. Baruch 4:1. This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh, in the law that endured forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Psalms 19, verses 7 through 11. The law of the Spirit of God is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Spirit of God is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Spirit of God are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Spirit of God is pure, enlightening the eyes, meaning enlightening your understandings. The fear, meaning the desire of the Spirit of God, is clean, enduring forever. The judgments, meaning the doctrine and teachings of the Spirit of God, are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold. Sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. Baruch 4 and 2. He says, turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. So as he's talking about this law and how it's clean and it's true and it's pure, he's telling us you're being warned that you should take hold of it, O Jacob. Oh, please, Jacob. Take hold of this law of the Lord, this law that endureth forever. Take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. That's what he's compelling us to do. Sirach chapter 44, verse 19 through 22. He said, Abraham, well, this is 19 through 23. It says, Abraham was a great father of many people. In glory was there none like unto him, who kept the law, the same law that he's telling us to take hold of and walk in the presence of the light thereof. It says, who kept the law of the Most High and was in covenant, meaning he was in agreement with him. He established the covenant in his flesh, in his loins. And when he was proved, he was found faithful. Therefore, he assured him by an oath that he would bless, meaning give knowledge to the nations in his seed, and that he would multiply him as the dust of the earth, and exalt his seed as the stars, and cause them to inherit from sea to sea, and from the river unto the utmost part of the land. With Isaac did he establish likewise for Abraham his father's sake the blessing of all men and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob. He acknowledged him in his blessing and gave him an heritage, and divided his portions among the 12 tribes did he part them. Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 8. He said, the Creator sent a word unto Jacob, and it have lighted upon Israel. He divided these portions among the 12 tribes. That's what he just got through telling us over in Sirach 44 and 23. Romans chapter 1, verse 17 down to 20. He says, for therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. So if the Creator have sent a word into Jacob, and it have lightened upon Israel, therein is the righteousness of Yahweh revealed. It's revealed because he showed it to us. He sent this word into us. He said, from faith to faith, as it is written, the just, the righteous, the saints shall live by faith. He said, for the wrath of Yahweh is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of Yahweh is manifest in them, is made known in them. Why? Because he showed it to us. For Yahweh have showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. He have set his word into us. Not only that, the things that he created that's all around us, he gave it to us for learning tools. We see how the ocean obey his voice. We see how the sun obey his voice and shine at the daybreak. We see how the moon obey his voice and shine at night. Like clockwork. He said we are without excuse. Exodus chapter 23, verse 20 and 21. He said, behold, remember, I sent an angel and messenger before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. So not only he sent the word into Jacob, he have equipped messengers to feed you with knowledge and understanding to bring you in the place which he have prepared. He said, beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions. For my name, meaning my way, is in him. Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 19. He said, and it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, meaning in my way, I will require it of him. That's what he's going to do. Sirach 49 and 7. He said, for they entreated him evil, this messenger that I have prepared to bring you into the way, into the place that I have prepared for you. He said, for they entreated him evil, who nevertheless was a prophet. He was a mouthpiece of Yahweh, sanctified, separated in his mother's womb, that he might root out and afflict and destroy false doctrines, and that he might build up also and plant you with knowledge and understanding. He's going to plant you with the truth. Don't matter what you think or what you say, how you have your mouth on a prophet of God. He was sanctified from his mother's womb that he might root out and afflict and destroy. Not to be your friend. Not to be running up and down with you. Not to be one that's going to give you a feel-good message. Not one that's going to look you in your face and lie to you and tell you, oh, sister, it's all right. Oh, brother, it's all right. You can go ahead and have your way because God loves you anyhow. The devil is a liar. No, but he was separated. He was sanctified to root out and afflict and destroy false doctrines, that he might build up also and plant. Jeremiah 3:15, it says, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, these mouthpiece of Yahweh, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. This is their job. They've been ordained, sanctified, separated from their mother's womb to do this work and this work alone. Baruch 4, 3-7. He says, give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to Yahweh are made known unto us. Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye move Yahweh to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemies. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to Yahweh. That's what we have done. Sacrificing to these devils. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 20 down to 21. He said, but I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to Yahweh. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Creator and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Creator's table and of the table of devils. You can't do it, family. Psalms 96, verse 3-5. He said, declare his glory among the heathen, his wonders among all people. For the Spirit of God is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared, meaning desired above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols. But the Spirit of God made the heavens. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 2. He said, ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. It's letting us know that this is what we was into. This is what we was following after. We had this Gentile mindset, doing all of the things that was contrary to the doctrine of the Most High. Either knowingly or unknowingly, we was doing it. Micah chapter 3, verse 9-12. He said, hear this, I pray you, ye heads of the house of Jacob and princes of the house of Israel. In other words, ye pastors and ye preachers of the house of Jacob, that abhor judgment, you hate doctrine and teaching and pervert all equity. He said they build up Zion with blood, meaning with the works of the flesh, and Jerusalem with acts of sin, iniquity. That's the works of the flesh. Verse 11, the heads thereof judge, meaning these pastors teach for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Spirit of God and say, is not the Spirit of God among us. It's not God in this building. None evil can come upon us. He said, therefore, for that reason shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. Psalms 16, verse 3 through 4. He said, but to the saints that are in the earth, and to the excellent, in whom is all my delight, their sorrows shall be multiplied that hasten after another God. See, he's talking about the same one over here in Micah. I just want to make sure we see this. Don't want to be moving too fast. What he said in these last two verses here, Micah 3, 11 and 12, he said, the heads thereof judge for reward, the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. This is what they're doing. They're teaching for gain. Yet where they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord among us, none evil can come upon us. Now, because they're doing these things and the one that's following them is receiving their messages, he said, therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. So, in other words, his judgment is going to come upon us because we have been on the wrong side of the plumb line. And this is what he's telling us here in Psalm 16 and 3 and 4. He say, but to the saints, these same ones that's following those that's teaching for hire, and following those that's judging for reward, and those that's divining for money. But to the saints that are on the earth, and to the excellent, in whom is all my delight. He care about us, but we on the wrong side of the plumb line. He said, their sorrows shall be multiplied, that hasten after another God. Their drink offerings of blood of the works of the flesh will I not offer, nor take up their names into my lips. So their names will not be in the book of life. I'm not going to take their names up into my lips. They're going after other gods. They following these teachers and preachers that's teaching for hire and judging for reward and divining for money. They being a sorcerer in divination, witchcraft, and sorcery. These are the things that they're hooked up in. The Most High said, nor will I take up their names into my lips. In other words, he's saying, I'm not going to accept these. Even though I delighted after them, called them my saints, but because they chose to go the other way, I am not going to accept them. Psalms 69, verse 27 and 28. He said, add iniquity unto their iniquity, and let them not come into thy righteousness. Let them be blotted out of the book of the living and not be written with the righteous. The ones that trust in these buildings, trust in these men and women that judge for reward, that divine for money, and that teach for hire. It's so easy to spot them out. When the last time you seen a pastor at a church building that teaches for free? That does not take a salary. That does not take a love offering. That studies and teaches and study and teaches and pray and serve the people and don't ask for a penny. Not even don't ask for a penny, but will not ever accept a penny from the followers. When was the last time you see this go down? He say, let them be blotted out of the book of the living and not be written with the righteous. Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 24 and 25, he says, that thou hast also built unto thee an eminent place, and has made thee an high place in every street, this church building. Thou hast built thy high place at every head of the way, and has made thy beauty the law that I gave you, the law of life, the law that is pure, the law that is true. You made it to be abhorred, to be hated, and has opened thy feet to everyone that passed by, and multiplied thy whoredoms. This is what's going on. Revelations chapter 18, verse 17 down to 20. See what else they did in these church buildings. He said, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. See, now he's talking about his judgment. He said, in every shipmaster, so these church buildings that have teachers, every church teacher or doctrine teacher that's out there, and all the company in ships, all of the company in these different churches and these different doctrines that they have, and the sailors, the workers on the ship, from the apostle, the bishop, the elder, the evangelist, the missionary, the deacon, the mother, all of these revivalists, everyone that it take to make up that congregation far as leadership is concerned. The praise team, the praise worship leader, the minister, I think they call it minister of music. All these sailors that's on this ship, that's working in this ship to make this ship run and to make this ship operate, this leadership team of this ministry, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships, all that had these church buildings and these doctrines that they was judging for reward, teaching for hire, and divining for money. And the sea, by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. The Most High gonna take it out. He gonna wipe it out. He said, rejoice over her, thou heaven, including in ye holy apostles and prophets, ye servants of Yahweh. He said, for Yahweh have avenged you on her. In other words, the Most High said, don't you worry. You keep teaching my word, and I'm going to take care of the ones that's on the wrong side of the plumb line. You keep teaching my word to my people. You let the wheat and the tare grow together, but you best believe in the end, I'm going to do the separating. He said, for Yahweh have avenged you on her. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to be dismayed. He told Peter, if you love me, feed my sheep. In other words, preach my word. Romans 12:19. He says, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, said the Creator. So we see clearly that in Revelations 18, he showed us where he's going to avenge his saints. He's going to avenge his holy apostles and prophets that teach his word. Oh, they may get talked about and rebuked and scorned and oppressed on every side, but he is going to avenge his people. Revelation chapter 18, verse 21 through 24. He said, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters, all of these are this leadership team of the ministry. From the apostle, the prophet, the elder, the teacher, the evangelist, the missionary, the deacon, the mother, the praise and worship team, the minister of music, everyone that it take to make up their leadership team. He says shall be heard no more at all indeed. And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more indeed. And the sound of a millstone should be heard no more at all indeed. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all indeed. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all indeed. For thy merchants were the great men, these leadership team of the ministry of the earth. For by thy sorceries, thy witchcraft, thy divinations were all nations deceived. And in her was found the blood, meaning the life of prophets and of saints, and of all that were slain upon the earth. So family, this let us know that anybody can be turned. If you are not seeking the Most High If you're not putting on the whole armor of God so you'll be able to withstand the wiles of the devil, we see that he was able to turn prophets and saints. They was able to be turned. They went on the wrong side of the plumb line. They got caught up. They were shaken by that mighty wind. And this is why he tells us this in Psalm 16:4. We'll go back here again. He said, their sorrows shall be multiplied that hasten after another God. Their drink offerings of blood, meaning of the works of the flesh, will I not offer nor take up their names into my lips. It's a serious thing, family. They got shaken by that old spirit of Satan, ancient and honorable. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13 through 15. He said, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers. This part of that leadership team again of these ministries all over the world. They're transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. They got their white collar on and their robe on and all these different things, trying to look like they're so holy. He said, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. So they might look like they're getting by now. They might look like things are going in their favor. But he's saying that their end shall be according to their works, their deeds, their teachings, and everything that they did, they're going to be held accountable for. All of those prophets and saints that they was able to turn them from the truth to falsities, they're going to have to answer for that. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 15 and 16. He says, the ancient and honorable, he is the head. And the prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. He's being crystal clear, not only the leaders, but the followers as well is going to be destroyed. Wherever that leader go, the follower is going also. Psalms 19, verses 12 and 13. He says, who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Psalms 119, verses 27 through 40. Make me to understand the way of thy precepts, so shall I talk of thy wondrous works. My soul melted for heaviness. Strengthen thou me according unto thy word. Remove from me the way of lying and grant me thy law graciously. I have chosen the way of truth. Thy judgments, thy doctrine and teachings have I laid before me. I have stuck unto thy testimonies. Oh, Spirit of God, please put me not to shame. I will run the way of thy commandments when thou shalt enlarge my heart, enlarge my understanding, enlarge my wisdom, enlarge my understanding. Teach me, please, Spirit of God, the way of thy statutes, and I shall keep it unto the end. Give me understanding, and I shall keep thy law. Yea, I shall observe it with my whole heart. Make me to go in the path of thy commandments, for therein do I delight. Incline my heart unto thy testimonies, and not to covetousness. Turn away mine eyes, my understandings from beholding, remembering vanity, and quicken thou me in thy way. Establish thy word unto thy servant who is devoted to thy fear, meaning to thy desire. Turn away my reproach, which I fear, for thy judgments are good. Behold, remember, I have longed after thy precepts. Quicken me in thy righteousness. Psalms 19 and 14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, O Spirit of God, my strength and my Redeemer. So, family, I hope and pray something is said to send you warning this day. Time is winding up. We have to be about our Father's business. He's sending warning message after warning message after warning message. Every one of his servants, his messengers, make sure that they send you warning. It's nowhere in here you can say or find that it says it's the good news, but he is warning us, family. So it's very important that we take hold of his word. It's very important that we take hold of the things that he has called for us to do. Because just as the teaching says, thy servant is warned. So now everything is on us now, family. Everything is on us. So I'm going to wish everyone a happy Sabbath as we begin this Sabbath morning. Didn't plan on being before you very long. And I want you to meditate on his word and take in the warning. Apply it to your life. Follow Christ. Don't be beguiled. Don't be deceived by these prophets that's working for the ancient and honorable, that teach lies. Because we clearly seen here in Revelations chapter 18, in verse 23, right at the end, it says, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. That's these teachers. So don't be deceived, family. Stay in the book. Trust in the Lord and lean not to your own understanding, and he shall direct your path. So I'm going to say a shalom to everyone. I want to say also to Psalms class that we will not be having Bible study this week. I know it's in the chat. We will start back up the following Saturday at 9 a.m. I believe it's March the 4th at 9 a.m. Saturday morning. So I'm going to say shalom to everyone. Until we meet again, shalom.